Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. And wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I want to welcome you to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. And those who are regular watchers, you know what I'm going to say next. Smash that like button, give it a smash. This helps get this content out to more people and, of course, helps support the channel. All right, and we have links below. My cheat sheet is below. I get asked every single day where my cheat sheet is. In the Discord, it's pinned under my Tribal Trades Sound Traders channel. I pinned it as a top comment there, and it's the link in the description below. And my cheat sheet actually has all the links, all kinds of resources. It has a link to the Discord, the best Discord on the planet, the Stocks with Josh Discord. If you have not signed up already, you can do so in the link below in the description, and of course in the cheat sheet as well. My cheat sheet has all my entries and take profit levels, all the different coins that I'm trading, including stocks, and I do a weekly stocks show on Sunday. I did want to say that with the Discord, that was where I give blub trade. So if you got in on the blub trade on the Discord before I was able to share it on the YouTube channel, I would have gotten in a lot earlier. So make sure that you're part of a community. This is an amazing community. You have stocks and you have crypto in there as well. And so links below are in the description. All right, we're going to jump into the news. The news we have is China. China? Can anybody say China? I don't know if I did a good impersonation there. It's probably terrible. China cutting interest rates and has announced a $140 billion stimulus package. Probably nothing. Multiple rate cuts with a stimulus package to revive the economy. And as you can see here, absolutely very bullish for the market, okay? That money is going to flow. And this is why I've made several videos over the last few months titled like last time to buy, last chance, saying, up to around about, usually we have about till mid-October is when Bitcoin really starts to jump, but it could take off any time between now and then, and it kind of has already because we kind of got down to around 52K. So it kind of has that first little move underway, 52 to 65, 13,000. That's a pretty significant move. And been making videos every day telling people that at any time it could jump. It's already had a bit of a first jump, but we haven't seen nothing yet. And so as we jump into the charts in a little bit, we'll go into what the price action is telling us for Bitcoin. Call it a coincidence, but Bitcoin is at the exact same spot it was at the last two cycles at this time. And people keep saying, the 4-year cycle, we can't follow that. We don't know. It just is following it. And until it doesn't follow it, I'm going to follow it too. And surely I'm going to make sure I take profits off the table as we go up and be in house money as quickly as possible and all the investments there. But at the end of the day, it's the same spot it was the last two cycles at this time. I even said, many times on the channel, I said the September low, historically on a halving year, gets set in the first 8 days of September. September 6th was so far the September low, unless we see an enormous dump here, and it can happen, down from, in just the last few week here in September that we're in, unless we see a huge dump below $52,500, September 6th is going to be the low. Okay, and so I've given you all this data, all these facts, all this historical stuff to help you make good decisions in the market. So hopefully you've been able to follow that and make some money there. We have a giant inverse head and shoulder pattern. And so I'm not clear if we're going to go all the way up to this $200,000 mark. And I'll tell you why. It's because of the law of diminishing returns. And I'm not going to go into that. I learned that in economics, but essentially, when you look, and I'll just give you a very simple example. Batenza Tau, which I'll share about more so on my altcoin video in a couple of hours. And I gave that trade at $165 and it went up to $365. You doubled your money on that in a very short space of time. Now for Bitcoin to do that, that's got to get up to about 120,000, over $120,000. Okay, how long is that going to take? That could take a whole nother year. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe Bitcoin will only get to 80 or to 100 or just over 100. But that happened in a very short space of time. It pulled back to 220 odd dollars, and I said, okay, here's another buy level that I'm buying at here. And then since that 220, it's gone up to $600 or just shy of $600. So almost done 300%. And since the original call, if you bought and just held the swings, well up over 300%. Well, for Bitcoin to do 300%, it's got to get to $180,000 or over $180,000. So and that happened just in a short 14-day period. And so there are smart money and smart investors out there that realize that and are deploying their capital accordingly. There's the law of diminishing returns, just given to you in a very, very market cap of Bitcoin being so high that it just takes so much more money to move it than it does some of these other smaller to medium cap projects out there like Batinza Tau that we would be looking at. Okay, where are we in the bull run? I've read some people say, oh, when's the bull run going to start? It already started in January 2023. Look, I encourage you to look at Rect Capital. He is a master of the 4-year cycle. And if you have any doubts or questions, go to his channel. That's all he does, the Rect Capital channel. And almost share his posts every day. I haven't today. But here's the deal. We are here. Oh, we're not in a bull run. Well, then what was all this? Like, if you don't think you're in a bull run because you're in the wrong coins, dead or dying projects that nobody is using, that are paying influencers to shill to you, and you're being sucked in by slick marketing and people that they've got 100,000 followers. Yeah, it's why they've got 100,000 followers. They're getting paid by these companies to shill these tokens so you can be used as exit liquidity. Okay, we have been in a bull run since January 2023. We've been in a bull run for an entire year and 9 months. Wake up. So we are here. We are here or here. This is what we have. 250K. I don't see it. I could be wrong. Certainly market makers, manipulations, price suppression. We could get there. It's possible. It's very possible. Anything can happen. Certainly, though, for me, I'm targeting more that 100 to 120K region. And certainly if the market changes and suddenly we're there in January and we're at 100, 120K, we're either at the top of the bull run and it's going to finish a little bit early, which I don't expect it to. I do expect it to go through to September, October next year. But we can finish early. I think in reality, they'll want it to finish early to surprise people or finish later. I think the early finish is a little bit of an early finish. You know, people go, oh, we still got September, October to go, and maybe we drop in August, or maybe we drop in July. So we'll just even May. That would be a fair bit earlier, and that would be a consideration of, has this 4-year cycle broken? So, but I do think we need to be careful, and this is why I'm always about getting profit off the table. I want that house money out. Okay, I want that original capital they've put in out. So if I have put in $1,000 and now it's worth $3,000, I want to take that $1,000 out and let the rest run. Or you can take $2,000 out and just let the $1,000 run, and then you've got the $2,000 profit and your original capital's in there. There's a couple of ways of doing it. You can wait till 5x, but some coins may not get to 5x. Okay, most of the coins that I believe, if not all of them, that I've identified on the cheat sheet, I believe are at least going to do a 5 to 10x from their accumulation cycle bottom, because we're since the sell and main go away, and really we kind of started to dump in March, April. See, they dumped us early. So they could do the same thing again. I think the cycle is a little bit different right now, and that things have gone a little bit early, which leads me to, can Bitcoin go early? Absolutely. We're waiting till mid-October. It could be like we've missed it. The train already left, and we'll have to jump on at higher prices. So very interesting there for those that say, hey, we're not in the bull. When's the bull market going to start? The bull market already started. I don't know what you think 16,000 to 63,000 is. Pretend the Tow's gone from $50 to, or $18 when it launched, up to $600. You're just in the wrong tokens. And I've done numerous videos about how to identify the right tokens. I even did a video called Dump These and Buy These. And we might go back and revisit some of these at some time, show you the tokens that I said, hey, these are the ones I said to dump, this is the prices, and these are the ones that I said to buy. And I think we will actually do that in an upcoming video, maybe when we get a bit of a pullback and the market gives us a little bit of a break and a bit of a breather, because it's absolutely crushing right now. And then lastly here, before we go to the charts, is if you hold Bitcoin, this chart says it all. Central banks are turning on the taps. Global M2 money supply is starting to climb. A lot of the central banks around the world have started to cut. The Fed has pivoted, and Bitcoin does follow the money, the money supply. That's why everybody's calling for this. You're not looking at the news and the charts, and this here just is as clearly as anything. Money supply dropped, Bitcoin dropped. It's just following the money supply. And so people calling for it to go down to 30, and even there's still some people calling for it to go down to the low 40s. And while that's possible, it's just very unlikely now. And certainly it's possible. Bitcoin historically has liked to go down and retest that yearly open at 42, but maybe it tests it in the bear market in about a year's time. Doesn't mean that it has to test it now. And you just have to be very careful for those people who are calling for these low numbers but aren't really giving any data to support it. I'm always interested to learn and to listen to other people, but there's got to be some kind of analysis behind it that makes sense. Okay, and what makes sense right now is this chart. The money supply is going up. The price of Bitcoin, look at this. Money supply up, Bitcoin up, money supply down, Bitcoin down. It's just so simple, and so simple a caveman could do. I hope I don't get a copyright strike here. I might have to remove that. All right, let's jump into the Bitcoin charts here. So what do we have here with Bitcoin? And we have here, we were kind of banging up at this level. So remember, our key level to break is just over 65,000. We need to break this daily high and make a new higher high, and this high was set at about 65,000, at least on Binance it was. So I would think about 65,100, 65,200 to be safe. As soon as we get that, that's very bullish for me. A break and close above that is extremely bullish. And then obviously a retest of that, a break, close, and retest of that, and then we're off to the races up to these 69, 70,000 kind of level that we would be looking at. The only thing that I would say is we have a little bit of a rounded situation here, and if we can see, we have some, Bitcoin kind of rounds off a little bit, and so we want to see higher highs and lower lows being set here. If we zoom in on the price action a little bit more to have a look at these candles there. So we are seeing some up wicking here. The battle of the bulls and the bears. I'd like to see these wicks shorter and shorter, and the bodies of these candles really bump up a little bit higher, like we saw the body of this candle up here. That's what I'm looking for. Really, something similar to around here. We saw some long upper wicking here, and then we saw some bodies come right, those candles closing right on that 200 EMA, really pressing against it there. As you can see, there's been, we have rejected higher. So if we can keep pushing up against here like this, we'll eventually break through this level. There won't be, the sellers will run out. The sellers will be exhausted and will push above. But just remember that in price cycles, Bitcoin hasn't generally taken off until October. Can we get sent early in September? Can we get sent early in September is the question. Quite possibly, yes, we could get sent quite early. Now, I did identify some bearish divergence on the 4 hour. That is still there, and maybe this is playing out with a small, I mean, it's a smaller time frame. I don't put as much weight on like a 4 hour, and we have seen a little bit of a pullback here. So that could have played out already. And you don't know how much they'll play out to the downside. But certainly here on the 4 hour chart, we are creating a higher low and then a higher low there. And if we come down and create, and then you want to create a higher high there. So where it's this one here was at 64,817. So a break above this would be bullish because, as you can see, there's a higher high. Well, so this is the one we're creating higher highs and higher lows. So this is very bullish here. So we want to keep this going. And if we can keep this going, I think it's only a matter of time before we break through. But we could certainly shuffle sideways here for a bit. You can see there's a nice Lux Algo order block down here at the 62K level around about here. We got the 200 EMA on the 4 hour down at 60. I'm not ruling out a drop. I don't want to see a bit of a Bart Simpson here, and the Bart Simpson is the head where you come jagged here and then come down, but that is looking like something that could possibly play out here. So just be aware, you might want to put some bids in here around the 60 to 59 to 60 level, and certainly this is where the 200 EMA on the daily is as well, down at this level with the 50-day moving average breaking back above. This is fairly bullish here. Certainly I feel price can be drawn into these moving averages, and this is really bullish here. And this is a little bit of a lagging indicator now. We had the move, and then now it's lagging to show bullish move after the fact, okay? So what I'm expecting here is two things. Either we're just going to keep butting up against here and push, but what I actually think might be a better situation is we slowly come down and we give this a retest, so that gave it a great retest. But we certainly have the EMA ribbons up here at about 61. We could come down and test that. Certainly we may not get all the way back. And by the time we come down, by the way, these might be up here. And so this is why you've got to check your charts daily, is to see what is going on. Because if these come up to around here or here, you feel firm that there's going to be some kind of retest. So you might not get your retest to here. So this could take some time to play out. But those are my plays, pretty much the same as been yesterday and the day before. We just got a little bit more information here. We've got rejection here, a possible retest down to the 61, down to maybe even 59 at 200 EMA. And that would be completely normal and okay. And that would be an opportunity to buy the dip, and it could be one last dip before we take off. If we did lose the 200 EMA, that would be quite bearish, and that would lead me to think we could take another week or two and really do take off in mid-October. However, if we do break this level and come back and retest, then we may be taking off a little bit earlier than mid-October like we have in the past. So let's just keep an eye on that, keep an eye on the charts and see what is going to shake out in regards to that. But that's the level I'm looking. We've got to break that 65,000 level. We break that 65K level, off to the races. As long as we are above the 200 EMA on the daily, we are bullish. Below it, we are bearish. All that we need to do is look at breaking through 65 and creating a higher high. That's what I'm looking, is to stay above the 200 EMA and then to break above 65. That's what I'm looking for. Plain and simple. I like to keep it simple. I don't want big complication there. And hopefully you are able to follow along and make money on a lot of these trades that have been giving. Talking about making money, a lot of trades. We've got the Altcoin show coming up in a couple of hours, and those trades have been absolutely printing money. Today I said there were 8 trades. Actually, there were 7 trades. 7 out of the 8 trades have been absolute home runs. We only got stopped out of 1. And so we're going to identify and look at all those trades, see where we are in those trades. And there are some other trades that also kicked off yesterday as well. So now we're probably actually 8 out of 9 of winning trades there. So if you've been watching the show, you've been absolutely printing money. So check that out in a couple of hours. Until then, happy trading.